Welcome back to the Hoop Bar. The Los Angeles Lakers made the biggest headline in the NBA by trading for Russell Westbrook. Braun, Brody, and Brow are now in LA, and some have said that this is now a super team. I don't agree with that. I'm fairly certain we all don't agree with that, but some have said that this is now a super team. This was first reported by Shams Charania during the start of the draft. The Washington Wizards agreed to trade the 32-year-old Westbrook along with the 2024 and 2028 second round picks for Kyle Kuzma, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Montrezl Harrell, and the number 22 pick, which ended up being Isaiah Jackson, which they did flip later in the draft for Aaron Holiday. Adrian Wojnarowski reported Harrell decided to opt into his $9.7 million contract, which led to another report of a potential Kyle Kuzma and Harrell for Buddy Hield trade. However, Shams reported about 15 minutes later that the Russell Westbrook trade, which became a reality about 3 hours later. Eric Pincus of Bleacher Report then put out a story saying that the Lakers prioritized Westbrook over Buddy. So in my eyes, I think they use Woj's reporting of the Buddy trade to help facilitate the Westbrook trade. With all that being said, and after a night to digest the trade, let's start off with the Ganz. What are your thoughts on the trade, and what do you think about Westbrook's fit on the Lakers?
So at first I panicked because I didn't like it, but now that I'm looking back at it, I have a change of heart. And let's do a little flashback Friday, just for our viewers that don't know basketball as well. The Ganz, once a long time ago, 50 pounds ago, was a very arrogant, cocky, confident guy that could get any girl he wanted, that wore shirts of himself on him. Matt remembers that. So does Rahul. That was performing at an elite level. Us as Laker fans, and you've harped on this, Matt, is that, you know, when I go into the club and bar still now, part of me thinks I'm that guy. But then I forget that I have hair on my ears now, hair coming out of my nose now. I'm 50 pounds heavier. The lingo has changed. So we can't think that we're losing the Kuzma of the past that was a performing Kuzma. We can't think that we're losing a KCP that was really good before we had any stars. We can't think that we're losing a Trez from 2 years ago. We got to look at what's relative, which was last year. If you look at what they performed last year, you know, at the end of the day, I still don't like the dollar value of the 44 million, because now if something does happen, okay, there's not much of a contingency plan with money, but I think it's an okay trade because Westbrook has performed and he gets assists. And you think about LeBron and Westbrook and their assists, like it's going to be a lot of fun passing. Now all they need to do is get the shooters, right? And there's plenty of shooters available. You could get Melo. Melo can still shoot. You got Rudy Gay. He could shoot. There's a lot of vets out there that you could bring that can shoot. I don't know if you could figure out a way to get Redick or to get another shooter. But I don't feel horrible about the trade. They just got to get some shooters, and I think it could be really, really fun. And I'm glad we didn't get Buddy Hield because, again, he's had attitude issues, and you took a risk with someone who's had issues with Schroeder, with other teams who kept getting traded. You could have done the same thing with Buddy Hield, and then what happens? He could have all the talent in the world, but if he doesn't have the right mindset, which is the mindset to, I don't want to say Westbrook is Mamba-like. I'm going to say he's Mamba-like. He's not Mamba for sure, but he would do anything to win. He would die for every loose ball. And there's not many superstars today that will play like that. So I think he's a perfect fit to LeBron, and LeBron doesn't always have to be the bad guy. Now you got Russell Westbrook, who's going to coach these players. You know, it's a better version of Rondo before Rondo was on the Lakers. So overall, I'm happy about it. I just hope we can get a lot of good shooters, which I think LA will attract on the vet minimum. And I think we are favorites to come out of the West.
Lino, what are your thoughts on this Westbrook trade?
Man, basically, I'm throwing up the W. I'm throwing up the W for Westbrook and West Coast. Basically, one thing that is really cool is the fact that Westbrook is 32. So in basketball years, he's prime, but he's not over the hill, right? But even with his age, I tell people he's had minimal injuries, which is nice. He still has like 19-year-old speed. He still has 18-year-old energy. It's about to be stupid. And reason being is because of one thing. He's not selfish. He averaged a triple-double. You got him and LeBron, which are both good passers. Another thing is he's going to be able to knock down that. He has a mid-range. He does. And I think that it's going to come back even more with the setting of the team. Another thing is KCP, Kuzma, what did they do? Their asses hugged the three-point line. All they wanted to do was catch a pass and shoot. No one was slashing to the rim. So it's easy. It was easier to defend the Lakers because nobody was driving the ball except for LeBron, but he still had to kick it. When Westbrook drives, that shit's getting yammed in. It's getting shoved in the rim. That's what's great now. You got a finisher. You got somebody at the rack. That creates a whole different dynamic. When a team knows what you're going to do and you're predictable, it makes the game easier. Oh, they're all three-point shooters. They're all just going to jack shots. That's literally why I was like, bro, these people, they have to go. So now that we got that, just like you said, shoot, not trying to be funny, but you got Oladipo, not trying to be funny. Tim Hardaway Jr. is a free agent. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different free agents. Don't know the money situation. Don't understand if they could probably afford him. But like he said, put some shooters around them. Lakers is going to be ugly, but I'm definitely excited for Westbrook because also Westbrook is about to – we might see an uglier Westbrook because you ever see somebody great get with somebody else great and they do level up. It's the same thing as like the Warriors, right? When KD came. Everybody leveled up even more, but they weren't selfish. They passed the ball. Shoot, KD can have the first 4 threes. It's okay. The ball's going to come around. We got enough basketball left. So – Westbrook, man, welcome to LA. You feel me?
Hey,
Back
Lino,
home, actually.
I'm not familiar with the young go out bar talk, but I'm assuming ugly means like good, like amazing, right? When you
For
say
sure.
okay, that's a new thing. I'm feeling pretty ugly, guys.
Got the New York Cup, you know. I don't know what you guys got going on, but it's Friday.
Rahul, this Westbrook trade, we had a lot of thoughts on it in our group chat. I was trying to follow along with everything going on with that whole Buddy Hield stuff. What you sent me a video yesterday. I didn't post it knowing that you're going to come on here. We had a few have a sleep on it and then come in today with a fresh take. Rahul, what were your thoughts on this Westbrook trade?
Yeah, and that video, I was like, when it was rumored, right? And then once it becomes a reality, what are you gonna do? You know, it's got his collection there. Yeah, what are you gonna do? You're either gonna accept it and look at the positives, or you're just gonna, dwell on it. And it's still your team, right? The Lakers are still our team. Look, I was upset because not because what like Westbrook brings or doesn't bring. It was more because I felt like we could have gotten more. I think the Ganz. I think Kuzma is going to shine. Like he was doing a lot of the intangibles last year. He was hustling. He was going for rebounds. As a guy who was expected to be a third scorer, he was doing more than that. He wasn't that third scorer. And plus Schroeder was hogging the ball a lot more than, we don't have that problem this year. So I think Kuzma is going to do great things. I think Harrell is going to do great things. We had Drummond, Gasol, Davis, Harrell. I mean, they got lost in rotation. He's going to do great things. KCP might even get the starting spot there in Washington. He's going to do great things. And then we gave up the pick. So my thing was this. It was, let's try to figure out, can we get more for this haul? And it sounds like the trade's not over yet. Like there could be an expansion where the Sacramento Kings do get involved. And maybe that 22nd pick goes to them. Maybe there's some exchange and sign and trade with Schroeder involved. So I hope we still get Buddy Hield. I'm okay with this trade though, because you're right. I slept on it. I feel a lot better about it because yes, Westbrook, like I mentioned in that video, he shoots 40% in the playoffs from field goals. He shoots 29% from the 3-point in the playoffs for his career. That's crap. But what he does great is he makes plays, right? Ganz, he makes plays for others. He gets everybody involved and he plays with fire and he plays with intensity. So you need shooters around him. Things I'm concerned about, packing the paint. Teams know that Westbrook can't shoot. We did it. If you guys watched the Rockets and Lakers in 2020, like they gave him 10 feet plus 10 feet to Westbrook. Like shoot the ball, go, just shoot it. So they're going to give him room. So, but then you just got to have shooters, right? You got to have shooters around him because he's going to make plays. And once he gets in the lane, he's got LeBron and Davis on that point. I think what's going to happen, and I think they've already talked about it, LeBron's going to move to the 4. Davis is going to move to the 5. When Davis is at the 5, the Lakers are nearly unstoppable. Last year in the postseason, I looked this up. He played 60% of his minutes at the 5. The Lakers are a plus 16. When he's at the 5, he gets 45% of his shots are at the rim. Compare that when he's at the 4, only 31% of his shots are at the rim because he's shooting more mid-range. He actually gets more three-point attempts at the 5 than he does at the 4. So this is going to be great. LeBron at the 4. I want to see him on the block more. Westbrook running the show, get some shooters around them. I'm a little bit concerned about the depth now at center because Gasol is slow moving. We saw that. He's a great playmaker. He can pass the ball. He can shoot. He can stretch the floor. He can still play defense, interior. But I think we still need, maybe we get Dwight back. I would love to get Dwight back. You need a forward as well because your tallest guy now is Davis. And who else? Who do we got? Gasol, right? Kuzma was 6'10". He's gone. Harrell, he's gone. So you need some size. You need some shooters. If they fill those gaps in nicely, everybody stays healthy. I like it. I like it a lot. I think the intensity that Westbrook brings, like the Ganz said, being able to pump up his teammates, somebody else other than LeBron, I think that's great. Overall, I'm excited. I'm happy. I felt like they could have gotten a little bit more, but maybe there's things going on that we don't know, in terms of things, moving pieces with Hield and stuff. So maybe there's still something to happen.
I do want to piggyback really fast, though. I think Marc Gasol, we got to do something because he can only jump as high as 3 tortillas. And he's slower than oh my God, 2 steps, the whole game is ahead of him. There's nothing wrong. Size does matter. So his presence could help. But I feel like the team of the way that it's going, they would have to wait on him. That's literally what it is. Because with Westbrook now, LeBron's going to tell him, bro, if we got 2-on-1, 3-on-1, 3-on-2, Westbrook's out and about, bro. He's that hyper kid that gets the ball, and if they got numbers, bro, they're gonna attack because Westbrook can draw a foul easily. So he's gonna have to make sure he's working on those free throws so he can go to the line just like Harden, get fouled just as much. It's gonna be crazy, but Gasol's got to go somewhere, maybe a senior citizen center or something.
You're saying you say size doesn't matter. I say he's not a grower, he's a shower with his passing. I'm just gonna say that.
Facts.
Davis at the 5, LeBron at the 4, and let's say they get Rudy Gay at the 3, or somebody they're looking at Carmelo Anthony at the 3. I'd say Rudy Gay, but yeah, you're right. Westbrook rebounds that around mid-range, around the free throw line. He gets the rebound and he's off, and all those guys are going to be able to keep up. So on the backup, if Westbrook's in the game and LeBron's not in the game, you got to have a center in there that's going to also keep up. So I agree. You got to get Dwight back. I would love Dwight back. Get Dwight back. He can keep up still, and that's what we need him for: rebounds, blocks, and defense, right? So yeah, I'm excited now. I'm glad you didn't post that video because I'm good.
Lakers Analytics Twitter, kind of just McBasketball on Twitter. He just went off on a few different threads. I'm not sure if you saw this, Rahul, just the negatives that Russell Westbrook will bring in this team. This F factor in shooting, F factor or F grading in all different aspects of the game. So tough when you have a 32-year-old knee injury, but you have to look at the negatives that are attached to this trade. We all saw it. However, like you guys, I also did take a sleep on this. Okay, let's think about the positives that he does bring to the situation. Where Brad Turner from the LA Times did report that AD, Westbrook, and LeBron did have a meeting, and they agreed that potentially, hopefully, AD will be playing more of the 5s. That would move, Marc Gasol to some center, replacement center minutes on the bench. So he wouldn't play more than 15, 20 minutes, which is fine. But the majority of your minutes would be with AD at the center. And that's, if Westbrook does that to the Lakers and makes AD play center, that's a big plus the Lakers did not have prior season. So if we could have a faster team, the pace that Westbrook plays at is amazing. So I hope Caruso, I hope THT, Rudy Gay, potentially maybe DeMar DeRozan are willing to run regular season, and then come playoff time, that's when LeBron and AD could then take over. LeBron could chill a little bit, doesn't necessarily have to have the ball all the time to run the offense, and Russell Westbrook will take care of that. However, come playoff time, Russell Westbrook needs to learn how to hit a corner 3. Like they're going to be playing off him a lot. He needs to be able to hit that shot. And if he can't hit that shot like Rondo did 2 seasons ago, then unfortunately he won't be playing as many minutes as does during the regular season, because that his type of play style does not translate to championships. LeBron's does. So Russell Westbrook's going to have to adapt to LeBron's championship style come playoff time. We did mention a few names: Carmelo Anthony, DeMar DeRozan, if he's willing to come here at a discounted price, Rudy Gay, JJ Redick, Ganz. Do you have any other names you want to throw out there as far as potential Lakers signings after this Westbrook trade?
I mean, those are my guys. I think Rudy Gay more than Carmelo, because he's a slight bigger. He plays bigger, and he has more to his game. Even though we know Carmelo can get you in the post, now Carmelo's post is a little different than it was before. He doesn't quite back you down. He kind of alters and fadeaways and maneuvers a little bit more. But yeah, Rudy Gay or Melo will play. Rudy Gay played for $2 million. I mean, no, Carmelo played for $2 million last year. Sign this man for $3 million. Give him a raise. Rudy Gay, sign him for the vet minimum. Why not? Like, these guys are still good. Secretly, I'm hoping, I know this won't happen, but I'm hoping D Wade can play. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe he's in LA and he's like, I could run one. I could get in shape, and you bring him back just for fun. But I know that ain't gonna happen.
And D Wade is chilling, bro. He's out buying pearls in Miami. What you mean?
Okay, well, what about a player like a Jamal Crawford? Can he come back, or is he past his prime?
We can't get too much older. I'm already worried about running up and down with a 32-year-old and a 37-year-old and Anthony Davis, who gets hurt easily.
Yeah, but you know who you forgot about? You forgot about Matt McClung, 43-inch vertical, 7-time NBA combine.
Bro, I followed Matt McClung since he was in high school. So just so you know, the most sickest high school highlight reel game was literally him versus Zion. It was stupid. He threw it off the backboard, bro, caught it in between his legs. I've been sold. I think the reason he dropped so low was because he transferred schools. So he originally was not at Texas Tech. It was at Georgetown.
Yeah.
I followed this kid. He has nice form. He has a good shot. I think he's overall all around, but there's like a couple people that stand out who still have good legs. Bro, Will Barton is available. Now, I know he goes on.
We can't afford him or Tim Hardaway. Money, it wouldn't work.
McDermott. What about Doug McDermott? He came up with a $7 million contract.
Hey, I looked at that too. Yeah, hey, bro, he's got a gap for that.
Okay, Rahul, let me pose a question. If you can sign and trade Schroeder and somehow maneuver DeRozan, do you go that route? Or do you sign and trade Schroeder to go for shooters? Or do you rely on getting your veteran shooters and get DeRozan? What do you do in that case? If you have an option to get maybe two good shooters or a really good shooter for Schroeder, or you have the opportunity to get DeRozan. Because how would DeRozan fit in this offense, being that he's also a mid-range, create your own offense type of guy?
Yeah, he is. He's a mid-range guy. He can't shoot the three. So in a team that's going to run up and down and look for shooters, that's not going to work. And like Lino said, if Russell Westbrook decides to step up his mid-range game a little bit more, then really you're already packing the paint. That's just another player. So DeRozan was first on my list. But with Westbrook there, it doesn't make sense. You need shooters now. You need shooters, and I think you need a little bit of depth at the big to play defense, at least at the 4 or 5. So I think just get some shooters. Sign a guy like Redick. If he's not affordable, sign a guy like McDermott. If he's not affordable, keep going down the line of shooters. And if there's something to be done about the Buddy Hield, maybe that's still a possibility. You can't have enough of those shooters.
I don't think Norman Powell needs a lot of money.
Yeah, and Norman Powell, but he had a breakthrough year last year, so he might. Yeah,
I know. That's where that young man ego comes in. But do you want championships or do you want money?
Well, why do you have to shoot threes to win a championship? Why can't you have a bunch of mid-range guys?
That's not the play.
Why can't we change the game? Why do we have to follow what's going on right now where everyone's shooting threes? I think you can get away from it and just go back to old school ball, and I think you could be successful. Am I wrong? Am I crazy?
No. You remember what Kobe said? He said it's not about how the style is right now. And I mentioned this before. It's a pendulum of the way the game shifts. It's like all threes, then it'll shift back to the big man, then it'll shift back to this. That's how it works. So you're right. Somebody's got to step up and say, no, we're going to win this way. The Suns almost did it, right? They don't really have, I mean, they have shooters, but they have a traditional point guard, a big, and a guard. So that was a very like Lakers run kind of championship back in the day. So I like this team. I think I get what you're saying. I want to see LeBron in the post. What I don't like about this is LeBron continues to go down this same trend of like, I'm going to get past people. I'm going to either get past people or I'm going to like LeBron, you can't get past people anymore as much. And they don't give you the calls that you used to get. And so when you try to get past people, you either get blocked or you don't get to finish as strong. And you exert a lot of energy that way too. I'm not saying the post isn't exerting a lot of energy, but he's so dominant if he goes on the low block, and maybe at the 4, he'll do that more. I just want to see him do that more instead of, but it sounds like they're going the other way. They want to run up and down with Westbrook. So I don't know what's going to happen. I just hope everybody stays healthy. LeBron knows himself more than anybody else. So we'll see.
Thank you for watching this clip from the latest episode of the Hoop Bar. Check the description for a link to the full episode on Spotify. Please consider liking and subscribing, and we'll see you next time.